Torts, I think that game in Chicago, the second game, was just another great example of what we've talked about a couple of times, how hard it is to win both games in a series. But that one, it looked like you had it. I know it was another one of those tight games, but that's just what happens when you make a mistake or get forced into a mistake late, and then you get some talented players on the ice against you in the overtime, right?
Yeah. I thought we checked better. We didn't give them much. I mean, the only chance they had in the third period was that chance to tie the game. After the game, I thought it was one of our better periods. As I watched the tape, yeah, it was okay. They were still behind us. They had a lot of almost 3-on-2s. We still have a lot of work to do as far as stopping odd man rushes. But we have a chance to win the game. It's on Patty's stick. It's a turnover. It's on Z's stick. He tries to go to his backhand and make a play. He gets stick checked. It's in our net. We grind away to get a point. We get 3 out of 4, but you feel a little empty not getting that second one when you grind that far in a game and you just can't close it out.
Did you have Nick on the ice in overtime with that idea of winning the faceoff and being able to get that? Was he going to stay out there if he wins the faceoff, or were you going to take him off?
Yeah, no. Sometimes I use Jens on the opening faceoff. It's a hard change if you lose the faceoff. It's a hard change. I know Kane's going to start, and I looked at their center, and they're going to get DeBrincat out there if they win it. I go into the fact I think Kane's going to be on the ice. I'm going to keep Nick's a pretty good face-off guy that I don't have to take off. Jack wasn't winning a face-off. I really didn't want Jack playing against Kane in that situation. So Nick and Patty, who's an offensive threat that I believe can check, they were going to stay. And I thought Nick did a really good job checking Kane, forces a turnover. Kane really is out of the play. And we just turn it over and just, if Nick gets it to Patty, we're odd man rush. So it's unfortunate. And then I think Nick was so glued to Kane to start with and get the turnover. When we turned it over, he felt he had to go run after Kane again, where Jonesy basically has him. And 2 guys go to 1 on Patrick Kane. He's going to get it through you. And it's kind of a funky goal. It's a hell of a goal by the player and knocking it out of the air.
No, you're right. It was a skill goal. I mean, guys score skill goals sometimes, and that's exactly what happened. I know that you respect the way that Patrick Kane plays. You like the way he plays. I know you've coached him, so you've seen him from a lot of different angles. How does he compare to Patrik Laine when it comes to a guy that gets the puck on his stick, is able to slow the game down, draw a lot of things to him, and open up some things? I know we haven't seen it completely with Patrik Laine yet. But is there a similarity between those guys, the way they slow everything down?
Well, they're not afraid to keep the puck. Both of them aren't afraid to keep the puck. They're not afraid to keep the puck in traffic. They like bringing people to them. They have enough confidence that they can make a play through people to an open person if they bring people to them. I think Kaner is a little bit different than Patty. I think Patty has a power game to him also. When he comes down that wing and he's skating and not pulling up and trying to bring people to him like Patrick does all the time, I think that's a big part of his game. And I want Patty to be that type of player more, quite honestly, as far as carry the puck, bring it to the net, bring people with you. He's so strong on it, but he also has the ability to look to the weak side, brings people, slows it down. I thought he slowed it down too much the last game. I thought he was standing still with the puck too much. Patrick Kane is a different player that way. I think that's he's not a power forward like Laine can be. Kaner he's just not built that way. But he's so tricky with the puck. He sucks you in. He's going to get it by you. I mean, some of the backhand plays he's made against us the past few games, not too many people can make. So I think Laine has a different part of his game than Kane does, and that's the power game. And I want to see more of the power game from our guy.
And so what have you talked to him about just trying to get that out? Just that? Just telling him you want to see it more?
Just that. Yep. I just did in our morning meeting. I just did. Because I just felt he relies too much on his ability as far as passing a puck. And it's if you watch Patty from afar and you read about Patty, all you hear about is shot. Like he talked about his shot. He can score, and he's good at it. But he's also good at some other things too, and that's the power game. And I want to see that brought into more. I thought he was standing a little bit too much with the puck, where I thought he could skate with the puck and attack. I hope that explains it.
Oh, it does. And it also explains, again, what you talk about with your coaching philosophy a lot. I mean, here's a guy that is already an elite player because of the shot that he has and the way that he can score. But what you're talking to him about actually gives him another dimension and makes him a more dangerous player than he already is, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not sure how he's been coached before, but and I've told you this, I talked to Yarmo, and Yarmo, the first thing Yarmo said, because I know everybody knows about his shot and his goal scoring, which is so important for this team, obviously, and a team that, has, I think we've scored some goals here of late, and we're trying to find our way, but we don't have that guy. He is that guy. But Yarmo talked to me about his passing. He's a great passer. I want that to happen. I think he has the ability to make other people better. I just don't want him to lose his power game, because he is a big man, and I think can be a power forward also in certain situations. I want that part of his game.
What did you think when he fought the other night?
I loved it. I'm not crazy about him fighting. I mean, that's not his job. But to me, it comes into his thinking. You know what I like more than the fight? Because he gets hit in the button, and I think the guy kind of rebounded. I thought Patty had some shots in first, but then the guy rebounded, hit him once, kind of backed him off, and then stunned him. But the thing I like most about it, he knew exactly what to do when Jack got run over. Now, I'm not a big proponent of I don't think we have enough big hits in the game that are just big hits and you go play. Everybody thinks they need to retaliate because it's a big hit. I think it's a legal hit on Jack. But what I know what Patty's thinking about, that's his old buddy from Winnipeg. He's a new guy in this team. His buddy just got run over. I'm going to run over a guy. I don't think Patty's should have been. Patty's was a good, clean hit. And if it went hit for hit, I think that's the part of hockey that we are missing out here now in the way the game's played. Big hits should be part of the game. And if you get a big hit, you're probably going to get hit sooner or later in a big hit also. It doesn't have to turn into a fight. It does. I think he stands in there. I think the guys really respect what he was trying to do. That's very good for our club as far as pulling us together.
And that's the other thing I was going to ask you. When you're standing on the bench, you're watching that, but those guys are right there in front of you. Did you notice anything on the bench, how they were watching it?
Oh yeah, they loved it. They loved the hit. They liked how he do. And Bobby, I always look on video for these type of intangible things, the character of the person, how he reacts in situation, how they react in traffic, and this stuff here. Jack got hit hard. Jack had his head down. Yeah, he wasn't ready. He got hit hard. It's a hockey play. Patty thought, it was a hard hit. I have a good chance to hit that guy too now. That's a hard hit. I think the players like that, there was no hesitation in Patty's game of that, I think I have to go in here and help out Jack. He wanted to help Jack. I think that's very important. It's a very important distinction.
Cam Atkinson's getting hot right now, and nobody knows better than you how good Cam Atkinson can be when he is on a streak. You see that kind of streak in him right at this moment? Yeah,
I think he's feeling it. The puck's following him. I give him a little bit of credit. He's skating. He's darting. I like the line, although I didn't like Jack's game the other night. I couldn't find Jack during the game. It was an off night for him, but I like the line. And it's funny now. Cam gets a tip-in goal. When things aren't going well, you miss that tip, and all it is a point shot, and the goalie catches it, and it's a face-off. So sometimes when you start skating and start getting your game together, the things start following you around. Hopefully, it'll continue for Cam.
You said you like the line. How much do you think Cam likes the line?
Yeah, I know Cam does. Yeah, I think he's a good complement to it too, because Cam can pass the puck also, and Cam is very good with his quickness in getting open. And I think Jack has been very impressive as far as holding on to pucks, passing pucks, making plays, and not being afraid to make plays in traffic. I think there's a good complement. What I think is a really quality forward that can play the game in a lot of different ways in Patty, and can be a power forward sometimes. Got a really good center that can get both wings involved, can distribute to both wings. And you got someone with some quickness that can go on to pucks too on the forecheck and can. So right now it's been playing very well. I wasn't crazy about it totally the other night, but they find a way to help us win, at least get a point in that game.
Are you going to make any changes to your lineup tonight?
Yeah, Z's out, so Kukan's going back in, and Grigorenko's out, and I'm putting Stefan Matteau in. And I say this, I want to quantify that, or whatever the word I want to use there with Grigorenko. I don't think Grigorenko played badly. I think he needs to play in a top six. I think he needs to play with more offensive people, a more offensive tone to a line. And where I have him now playing 9 or 10 minutes, it doesn't help his game. And I want to get some identity on a couple of lines too. I want to get some energy into our lineup. And Steph's been chomping on the bit. He's done his work with the taxi squad, and I'm going to give him an opportunity. Gregor, I got to figure out. I'm trying to let other guys try to go offensively on Stenlund's line and on Jack's line. He's kind of a tweener for me and where I put him in the lineup. So I've kind of lost him a little bit as far as minutes. That doesn't help his game. I know he doesn't like being out. I've got to figure that out. I got to figure out what he is. And I explained this to you because it's not like he's been playing poorly, but there really hasn't been much happening in his game either and where I've put him as far as the ice time that he's got.
Werenski, is this, are you watching the injury that he suffered? They had him out?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I just, as good as Z is, I just don't think Z can skate to pucks and get to pucks and compete hard enough. And I don't want his injury nagging. I want him. He's such an important part to our team. I want him. I'm not a big percentage guy, but I want him healthier. Then he's trying. He wants to help us. But then it's up and down. It's from shift to shift, and it may be from game to game. Can he play? Can he not? I want to try to get him healthier so he can come in here and help us.
Why back to Kukan and not Harrington, who had played well? Is it just to get Dean some reps again?
Yeah, well, it depends. Harry was okay. I still think there was some problems with reads. With Harry, I always worry about, just movement of the puck skills. I think Kooks gave us some really good minutes for a number of games early in the season. I thought really struggled for a couple of games where I took him out. I think he deserves a chance to come back in because I do think he's a better puck mover than Harry when his game's on, and so we're going to give him an opportunity. With Harry, it's hard. Harry's right back in the same spot he's been for 4 years, and I'm not sure where it goes. I really don't know. He's such a trier, such a great pro. But if I have a puck mover, a better puck mover, he's going to go in because I think that's a big part of the game right now in today's game is puck moving out of your end zone.
Well, one thing about Scott Harrington is you may not know where it's going to go, but it's going to go somewhere, and he's always ready.
Yeah, he's such a great pro, and it does. It's one. I have some hard ones sometimes when I scratch him. I have some ones that, well, they're all hard for me because you're telling a player he can't do what he loves and play the game. It's a hard one for me for Harry because Harry's been such a great teammate. He's respected so much here, but I still have to make the decisions. I don't feel sorry about the decision. I feel bad for the kid, but I have to make decisions. What I think right now is the best for the team.
All right, I got one more thing. After the game on Thursday, that 6-5 game, Jody called me and he said, the next time you talk to Torts, I want you to ask him if this is the new normal. You got to outscore other teams instead of this 2-1, 3-2 kind of stuff. Ask him if this is the way that Blue Jackets hockey is going to be played now.
Tell Jody to shut the hell up. It is a road that we have to go down sometimes, but we can't get involved in a lot of this here. And but I'm happy we found a way to do it that way, so our guys can know maybe we can do it that way in certain situations this year. In a year, I'm not sure where the games are going to go.
Yeah, and you're playing the team tonight that you had one of those 6-5 games against when you saw them just a while ago. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that the players can't see you doing this interview because there's that curtain behind you. And you know the old saying from The Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Well, they usually don't anyway, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Torts, thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
All right, Bobby. Be well, man.